Hello, I am Xarkun and this is World of Warships Legends. Today I want to talk about the legendary tier light American cruiser Worcester. And as you know, Worcester was the recipient of a major buff this patch. What exactly was changed on this ship? Well, to recap, its reload was decreased to 4.6 seconds base, whereas previously I think it was somewhere hovering around the 6-second mark. Its fire chance was drastically increased, along with the penetration of its high explosive shells. I think something like 30 or 10 meters rather was shaved off the turning circle. I can't remember, that it was a weird change. And then the reload time on the radar was reduced by 30 seconds. I think all of this adds up to make the Worcester feel more like a legendary tier, whereas prior to this buff I think it kind of felt like a slightly downgraded Cleveland. Nevertheless, I still don't really care for this ship all that much. It's got two things about it, two characteristics that I don't like. Well, one that I don't like, and the other that I find completely bizarre and useless. The first is the turret setup on this particular vessel. Like the Cleveland at Tier 7, the Worcester has 12 guns, but unlike the Cleveland, its guns are divided into a less efficient turret setup. It's got, 6 double turrets rather than 4 triple turrets like the Cleveland. And whereas on the Cleveland, since you have 3 gun turrets, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, if you're facing bow or stern in, you can get all 6 guns on target. But in the Worcester, you can only get 4 guns on target facing bow or stern in, and you do have to give a fair amount of broadside in order to get all of the guns on target, which is fine so long as you are in a good position. And maybe that's my issue with this. Maybe I just need to get a little bit better at positioning this ship. But either way, the turret setup is less efficient than the Cleveland's, and that kind of annoys me. And then the bow and stern plating on this ship is 32 millimeters, whereas the side plating is 25 millimeters and overmatchable by everything you are going to come across at the legendary tier. And thus, I think it's a very bizarre design choice, because this bow armor, in my opinion, is almost entirely useless. If you do want to face something bow in, well, you're voluntarily reducing most of your firepower and making this ship a heck of a lot less effective. And even if you do go bow in, I mean, it's only the bow that's 32 millimeters. As the bow gets closer to the center of the ship, it spreads out. And I'm pretty sure a battleship shooting at you bow in could probably still hit the side of your ship, overmatch it, and deal a lot of damage. So this is not a ship you want to try to bow tank in. If they wanted to give it useful armor, they could have given it better side armor so that it could be angled against battleships, but that's neither here nor there. This ship is much more effective than it was previously, and it is quite the damage dealer to destroyers, as you can see here. And you might have noticed somebody pinging the chat, because I don't think we turned to shoot this Shimakaze quite as quickly as we might have. The Fun Police are in this game, and the Friendly Fun Policeman, which is the Tier 7 Japanese premium aircraft carrier, Kaga, is being driven by none other than T-Bull. And unfortunately for us and our team, T-Bull is going to go down rather quickly, and I think that is due to the large number of destroyers in this game. Hopefully I can reduce that number by 1 here with the sinking of this Shimakaze, but there he goes. He was being a little bit squirrely, and he was hard to hit. Now, Conqueror coming around the corner. I think this little segment here will give you a taste of how great the DPM on the Worcester is now, with its slower reload, better penetration, better fire chance. I am running Equilibrium of Power on this commander build, though, still, because without Equilibrium of Power, you're still not going to be able to pen 32 millimeters of armor with this high explosive, and I'd rather have that raw penetration damage over I mean, I'll take the nerf to the fire chance that comes with the equilibrium of power skill, if you want to put it that way. Anyway, things are not going super well in this game to start off with. The enemy has taken both the Alpha and the Bravo cap, whereas we only have the Charlie cap because, unlike the enemy team, all of our destroyers went to a single cap, and you may have noticed that I expressed a little bit of displeasure with this at the start of the game. To make matters worse, T-Bull has somehow been dispatched in the Kaga, so we are no longer going to be able to benefit from his spotting of the destroyers, which was integral to our taking out the first 2 destroyers in this game. So thank you, T-Bull. I appreciate that support. By the way, the reason you're seeing this video today, I probably should get into that, is because speaking of T-Bull, it is my understanding that Spartan Elite 43 and T-Bull are teaming up today for a stream. I don't know whose channel that stream is going to be on, but I do believe that stream is taking place at around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, and you might think, well, why are you advertising this stream, Xarkun? Are you going to be on it? No. No, I am not. I don't think so anyway. I was not invited. But the problem is, today I work at my current job that I'm nearly done with and almost ready to start my new job until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which apparently is the time that they're gonna be about to start streaming. Thus, I don't really want to try to compete for viewers with the 2 largest YouTubers who cover content on this game. So I think we may have to reschedule my stream. I'm not sure for when, but I don't know that I will actually do it today. If they finish early enough in the night, maybe I will, but otherwise I think I'll be hanging out in the chat of their stream, because frankly it's something I want to see. So maybe I'll see all of you there. Oh, and while we move in toward the center, you can see our teammates have taken the Bravo cap, which is good, and we have actually been able to dispatch most of the enemy team. So we are actually in a good position to win this right now. And since there really isn't that much of a risk anymore of actually losing, somehow miraculously all of our destroyers have managed to survive, and all of the enemy destroyers are sunk. This is not something that you see very often in large destroyer number games like this. Typically, the destroyers die very, very quickly, but honestly, good job to all the destroyers on my team. I wasn't happy with them at first for going all into that Charlie cap, but it's turned to, or it looks like it's going to work out in the end. But so there is one other thing I do want to mention as we get closer to the end of this video, and that is, of course, that the channel reached 5,000 subscribers yesterday, or maybe the day before. I'm not honestly sure. Yesterday is when I noticed it. We were sitting at a nice 5,011 subscribers, and when I woke up this morning, it was up to 5,024, so I don't know if I've hit a wave on the algorithm, and you guys are subscribing in force now, but thank you so much. When I started this channel, what was it, 2.5 years ago, I never thought I'd go from 0 to 5,000 subscribers and be where I am today. And of course, none of that would be possible without your support and your views and your subscriptions, super chat donations, all of that. I'm very, very thankful for it, and I just want you guys to know that. So soon, we will be doing a 5,000 subscriber stream. I don't know if that stream is going to be with guests like the one and only Tactic Angel, who has joined me for many celebration of subscriber milestones, or if that will be a stream where I division with people from PlayStation and Xbox, since that is possible to us now. Although, even if the 5K special stream or whatever isn't the subscriber division stream, I still will be doing that sometime this month. And I suppose this video has turned more into some discussion about my own channel rather than this game. But the bottom line here is that the Worcester is better than it was before. Although, if you didn't really care for it before, I don't know that this buff is necessarily going to change your mind, at least if the reasons you didn't care for it before are the same reasons that I didn't care for it, which again is the inefficient turret setup on the ship and the bizarre choice to give it 32mm bow and stern plating. It's still got all of that, but it certainly does fire faster. It can penetrate a little bit more armor with its high explosive, and it probably starts a couple more fires. So, much improved. Definitely, probably where it should have been. Definitely, probably. That's a interesting way to turn a phrase. Definitely, probably where it should have been to begin with when it was introduced at the Legendary tier. In fact, I think the stats on the Worcester in-game now more closely match the stats that it has on PC. The only question left for this game is, where is this enemy aircraft carrier? Because, you know, he's managed to survive up until this point. My destroyers were not able to take him out. I assume it was a destroyer who took T-Bull out in the beginning, but now this aircraft carrier has to go, because all he's doing is dragging out the inevitable. The game is already lost, and there's no way he's going to be able to sink us, and there he is. So we can just farm damage off of him like the damage pinata that he currently is, and we can hopefully pad our XP a little bit to make our place on the leaderboard look a little bit better and make the damage total a little bit more impressive than 80,000 damage. And as you can see, our high explosive shells have absolutely no problem just eating this Lexington alive. We're able to get the Confederate medal. I think we are also going to get the high caliber medal before this Lexington goes down. And, you know, in closing, thank you all so much for 5,000 subscribers. And the Worcester, if you didn't want to get it before in the Bureau because you thought maybe it wouldn't be that great, well, you might want to reconsider now. I mean, it is certainly better. I still don't care for it all that much, but objectively speaking, it's better. So, thank you so much. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.